Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into a technological leap that really changed everything. We're talking about the invention of distilled spirits, which is such a profound shift from, simple brewing.
It's a massive shift, and our mission today is to really track that. We're looking at three things: the technical evolution itself, what specific problems it solved, and of course the huge impact it had on civilization.
And we're looking at sources from all over, right?
All over.
Yeah.
China, the Arab world, Europe. It's a truly global story.
Okay, so if fermentation has been around forever, what's the big technical idea here? What separates this process?
The core principle is actually deceptively simple. It's just heating, vaporization, and then condensation.
And people figured this out pretty early on, but not for alcohol.
Exactly. The earliest uses, we're talking before 2000 BCE in Mesopotamia, were for other things. Think perfumes, essential oils. There was a famous perfume maker, Tapudi, who was using it to pull essences from cedar and cypress. It was an apothecary's tool, really.
So where does alcohol enter the picture? When does someone point this technology at wine?
That's the big pivot. And for that, most credit goes to the 8th century Arab world. A chemist, Jabir ibn Hayyan, is the one who really refined the still. He improved the alembic, that classic pot with a condenser tube, and he used it to extract what he called burning water from wine. That set the method for high concentration refinement.
But hold on, because there's a huge archaeological finding that just completely throws a wrench in that timeline, this 2025 announcement from China. What did that tell us?
It told us this story is much more complicated. It suggests there might be multiple independent origins for this technology. We now have actual evidence of distilled liquid from a Shang dynasty bronze vessel.
A Shang dynasty vessel? Wow. How old is that?
About 3,000 years old.
So that completely upends the traditional theory that it came to China much, much later.
It does. It seriously challenges the idea that it was only transmitted during the Yuan dynasty.
Okay, so this knowledge travels. It eventually makes its way to Europe. How does that happen?
It arrives through translated Arab manuscripts, first at the Salerno Medical School in Italy around the 11th century, and then the Crusaders brought the knowledge back in the 12th.
And they saw it purely as a medicine, right?
Purely. They called it aqua ardens, burning water, or later, aqua vitae.
The water of life.
The water of life. That tells you everything about how valuable they thought it was.
Which brings up a key question. If you already have wine and beer, why go through all this trouble? What problems did distillation actually solve?
It solved a couple of really fundamental limits. The first one is biological. It's the alcohol limit. The yeast used in fermentation, it dies or stops working at around 15 to 20% alcohol.
So that's the natural ceiling.
That's the ceiling. Distillation was the only way to blow past that, to get to 40% and, much higher.
And beyond just making it stronger, what about for trade? What were the logistical advantages?
Oh, this was huge. It solved two problems at once: preservation and transport. Low-proof beer and wine spoil easily. High-proof spirits are basically self-preserving.
Their own antiseptic.
Exactly. And for a merchant, the big deal was you're now shipping a concentrate. Less volume, less weight. It made global trade suddenly much, much cheaper.
And there was a third factor, one about efficiency, about getting more from your crops.
Absolutely. Raw material efficiency. Traditional brewing is, well, it can be pretty wasteful. Some sources say you'd need, say, 3 pounds of rice to get just 1 pound of sake. Distillation could flip that ratio. You get far more alcohol from the same amount of grain. It became a really effective way to store surplus food.
So it's changing trade, it's changing agriculture. But let's go back to medicine for a second. How important was this for something like, say, medieval surgery?
It was absolutely crucial. You can't overstate it. High-proof alcohol became the basis for antisepsis, for cleaning wounds, for cleaning instruments, and maybe more importantly, it was the only effective anesthesia they had for serious operations.
Like setting bones or amputations?
Yes. It made procedures like that survivable.
So it starts as this water of life,
Yeah.
a medicine, but it was just too useful, too valuable to stay that way.
Inevitably, it became a commodity, and a very valuable one by the 15th and 16th centuries. And governments were not slow to notice. They immediately set up taxation systems.
So it becomes a pillar of state revenue.
A huge pillar. And that, in turn, stimulated new jobs, distillers, coopers who made the barrels. It reshaped economies.
It's amazing how quickly the technology spread everywhere once it was out. Arabia to Europe, Mongolia to China, Southeast Asia.
Because it solved universal problems. Preservation, transport, scarcity. It wasn't just a new drink. It was a system-level upgrade for civilization.
It really was a transformation. So here's a final thought to leave you with. This discovery starts as aqua vitae, the water of life, prized for its ability to heal and save people. What does it say about us that this life-saving invention so quickly became a major source of government tax revenue and social control, all because of mass overconsumption?